Hey, I'm Brian Elliott. Welcome to another edition of Behind the Brand. Let's go check out our next story.
Hello, I'm Miguel McKelvey, the co-founder and chief creative officer at WeWork, and you're watching Behind the Brand.
Miguel, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
What advice do you have for startups?
You know, it's a great question because the evolution as a company, we've sort of tried to remain a startup. We still use that word as much as we can because we do think that there's something great about that time, that the struggle is like, the struggle being real is something we don't want to forget. You know, not only because our members are still experiencing it every day, but because the response that you have when you're under that struggle, the energy is much different than mature companies.
Yeah, it's the Rocky Balboa element. It's the I'm still hungry. You know, you're still raw. You still feel like you're learning. You don't get complacent, or you don't buy that, you know, expensive car or fancy jacket, whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, you know, if that's what you like, if that's the part of it that you enjoy, and I don't know that that's why all people start companies. Like, many people may want to get away from that part and have like some smoother lifestyle. Their dream may be to, like, you know, work for 4 hours a day or whatever. And if that's what you want, then you should create that life for yourself through your entrepreneurial journey. But for us, we actually enjoy it. Like, we really love that feeling of being super engaged. And so we continually push the limits in order to retain that spirit, that energy. So, I mean, from a business perspective, for example, you can make an argument that, like, there's no reason for us to have entered China. Like, we could have waited until next year or the year after that. We would have been fine from a business perspective. But from the standpoint of what we think it does for us as a culture to take on that kind of challenge, to be willing to make a leap, to have to learn, you know, a whole bunch of complicated things that, you know, are forcing us to engage deeply, you know, to really push and not just sort of say, well, we figured it out, let's just roll it out, you know? Like, that to us is something that would just be lame and a failure, and so we went away from that. We go the other direction, was like, let's take the harder road. Let's, you know, let's continue to find the ways that we continue that growth path.
Yeah, I think there's a poem about that, right? That road less traveled made all the difference. And also, it's a common theme. I've talked to hundreds of entrepreneurs, and almost all of them have said the exact same thing. It's never about the destination. It's always about loving the process. Gary Vee would say, I love the chopping instead of, you know, having the tree come down itself. It's like, I love being in that fight mode, in that, you know, hustle mode, or that staying hungry.